Well. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Say What You Like Sports Podcast, NFL Power Rankings. It is the Top 10 Week 4 edition. Week 3 is now in the books, and let me tell you, going into Week 4, let me just tell you, this was a tough week to make a decision within my top 10. I mean, we're talking about a log jam of competitive teams in the top 10. I also was forced to leave a couple of perennial top 10 teams from the Say What You Like NFL Power Rankings off the top 10 entirely. And they're usually here week after week after week. But I gotta admit, after watching some of these games in week 3 and a couple previous weeks here, I'm coming away more unimpressed. And so I had no choice but to leave some teams off that you guys might want to argue with. And I've also included a couple of new teams onto the top 10. So let's just get into it. The Week 4 Top 10. Kicking off this week's NFL Power Rankings, a new team to the top 10, the Washington Redskins at number 10, coming off an impressive and dominating victory over the Oakland Raiders. I have to say I was a bit surprised to see Washington just take it to the Oakland offense. The Oakland offense was not able to get going in this game. The one thing that I came away very impressed with was the Washington defense, and in particular, the way that the Washington defense was able to tackle. There was nowhere to go, no extra yards, no mistakes. They played a very clean game and stopped a normally potent Oakland offense from ever getting going. Kirk Cousins is showing that he's deserving his money. He's going to get paid. He's been getting paid for the past couple of years. Honestly, he's not a fluke. He's not a one-hit wonder. Kirk Cousins has been doing it for years. He's putting up yards. He's winning ball games. I think if they can get him a little bit more support, hopefully maybe with some mid-season trades, I mean, look for the Washington Redskins to stick around in the top 10. Alright, get ready to blow that horn because at number 9 we have the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Bradford is Sam Bradford. He's out. He got hurt by air. He has a knee injury. No telling when he's going to be able to come back, but that's alright because Case Keenum, man, what a game. Over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to go along with that already dominating Minnesota front 7. And don't forget about that back end with Xavier Rhodes. I mean, this team is legit. I mean, if they can even get half of the kind of performance that they got out of Case Keenum, Minnesota is looking to climb up these power rankings week by week. Let me tell you something, that NFC North, that's going to be a big time battle this season because we're talking about 3 loaded teams in that division. Up next, coming off an impressive Monday Night Football victory, my Dallas Cowboys in at number 8. And I'd like to put my Dallas Cowboys a whole lot higher, but I just can't justify it after that Week 2 performance. They didn't just lose to the Broncos, they got dominated by the Broncos on both sides of the ball. Now outside of that game, they look pretty damn good. They finally got a pass rush going. The running game has been working methodically in the other 2 weeks outside of the Denver game. And Dak Prescott is continuing to impress me as a quarterback and a leader. I think the Cowboys are going to be in good hands, and they have the LA Rams up next at home. So that's going to be another tough test because that defense is talented. And with Sean McVay's spread offense, Jared Goff is looking more and more comfortable. This is going to be a real test to see if Dallas belongs back in the top 5 or if they should stay back on the bottom end of the top 10 here. Now, this team coming off a loss but staying strong at number 7, the Denver Broncos. Had to place them just a bit higher than the Dallas Cowboys after they blew them out in Week 2. But Denver did kind of let me down this week because they lost to the Buffalo Bills, who are surprisingly feisty and playing hard at 2-1. So, you know, maybe this isn't just a fluke. Maybe the Buffalo Bills really got something this year. But I expected Denver to be able to play a whole lot better on offense. Trevor Siemian kind of came back down to earth. He threw 2 picks in the game, and that's what they don't need. All they need is for Trevor Siemian to continue to be efficient in order to win games because, like I said, that defense is dominating. Not only did they stop Ezekiel Elliott in week 2, but they pretty much stuffed LaShawn McCoy, stopping 2 of the top running backs in the league. There's nothing that this Denver defense can't handle. Summer is coming to a close, so you know what that means. It's time for the autumn wins. So at number 6, the Oakland Raiders. Now, I know it's a little tough to justify them being so high after getting destroyed by the Washington Redskins on Sunday Night Football. But again, I think this is a bit of a fluke there. Washington played out of their minds, especially on defense. I am a bit concerned by the sloppiness that the offense showed on Sunday Night Football, but in the long run, this Oakland Raiders team with Derek Carr as that engine to that offense, I don't think can be stopped. Marshawn Lynch can still go beast mode, maybe not game in, game out, but they don't rely on him the way they did in Seattle. Like I said, Derek Carr is the captain, and I think he's going to steer the ship in the right direction, keeping this team competitive all season long. Okay, I'm sure to get a little bit of backlash for this selection at number 5, but I'm gonna go strong, stay with my instincts here. Number 5, the Detroit Lions. I can't hide it any longer. I used to be a closet Matthew Stafford fan, but now I'm out of the closet. Matthew Stafford looks like the real deal to me. After losing Megatron over a season ago, he really stepped up and showed his maturation as a quarterback, spreading the ball around and winning games. And I truly believe that if he did not injure his hand down the stretch in last year's regular season, they would have won the NFC North over the Green Bay Packers last year. So, as long as Stafford stays healthy and this opportunistic defense continues to make plays when they have to, I think they're going to challenge the Green Bay Packers for the NFC North once again this season. Climbing back up the rankings at number 4, the NFC North leading Green Bay Packers. Now they're 2-1 to go along with the Detroit Lions and to go along with the Minnesota Vikings. But let's face it, this team gets the tiebreaker. No, not because of any, NFC records or divisional records, but let's face it, we got Aaron freaking Rodgers, the best quarterback in the game today, arguably the most talented quarterback of all time, and he pulls out another one in a game that any other team with any other quarterback would have lost. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals were playing out of their minds in the first half of that game. They had them down 21-0. But if you give Aaron Rodgers just a second and a chance, he is going to bring that team back and snatch your heart from your chest. He'll probably eat it. I'm going a little haywire, a little too far there, but you know what? The bottom line is this. I do not doubt a team quarterback by Aaron Rodgers. I've said it many times on this show and on other shows, but I can't help but expect to see the Green Bay Packers back in the NFC Championship this game. I expect to see them staying in the top 5 pretty much throughout the season here in the power rankings. It would take an epic fail, an epic fall for them to fall outside of the top 10. I see them competing, even though the North is tough, facing defenses like Minnesota and an upstart quarterback like Matthew Stafford. In the end, they don't have number 12, and that's all I got to say about the NFC North here. Coming in at number 3, Old Faithful, the duo of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, the New England Patriots. Now they came off a 36-33 win over arguably the best defense in the league, the Houston Texans. But what do? Plenty of big plays, 5 touchdown passes from Tom Brady. Like I mentioned last week, he was supposed to fall off some cliff, but it still hasn't happened. Don't hold your breath, Max Kellerman. This guy doesn't seem like he's going to fall off a cliff anytime soon the way he's playing. I mean, he did that against Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt, and them boys. I mean, that defense is legit. They are stacked with talent. I mean, and they were getting to Brady. They hurt Brady. They sacked Brady. I think Jadeveon himself sacked Brady twice in the game. I mean, pressure was in Brady's face all game long. I think they wore them down like the Patriots do. And in the end, when you give Tom Brady a chance to win the game, that's exactly what he's going to do. The 5 rings on his finger should only confirm that. Now, coming in at 3-0 on the season and leading the NFC, number 2, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, they dropped down from number 1 because, in all honesty, I feel like they should have lost that game to Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions. But on a technicality, the referees took that game from Detroit. But that's not taking anything away from Atlanta, especially on the offense, who, even though they didn't have their one of their more explosive games of the year, I mean, they still put up 30 points. I mean, Atlanta can put up 30 points in their sleep. So I'm continually impressed with the Atlanta offense, and that defense is young. And they're working through the wrinkles. They're working the kinks out. You know, that secondary is young, but they're athletic and they're playmakers. They're only going to get better as the season goes along, provided that they stay healthy, of course. I am thoroughly impressed with the Atlanta Falcons. The only problem, the only reason I had to drop them down from 1 to 2 is because, well, you guessed it, you know who's number 1 this week. And that would be the number 1 Kansas City Chiefs. These Kansas City Chiefs have been impressive in all 3 games this season. They've been impressive for a long, long time under the leadership of Alex Smith and Andy Reid. They actually have a 12-0 record against the AFC West, so they're dominating their division. And I think they only lost that last playoff game by 2 points, so they were only 2 points away from being in the AFC Championship against New England, a team that they've blown out the last 2 times that they've faced them. I really don't have anything bad to say about Kansas City. But for you doubters out there that are doubting them and saying they don't deserve to be number 1, allow me to state my case here. Look, I know what the knock has been on Kansas City for the past couple of years. The lack of the big play. Alex Smith is a game manager. You can't expect to win a Super Bowl with that type of a quarterback. But here's the thing. They were missing that home run hitter, I would agree. But last year they got Tyreek Hill. But still, he's not an every down player. He's more of a special teams player, special type of plays, you know, sweeps, things of that nature, punt returns, kick returns. But now they have an every down explosive threat to take it to the house on any play in the rookie Kareem Hunt. And I truly believe he is the difference. He is the reason why you cannot sleep on the Kansas City Chiefs no more. He gives them that legitimate player that can score on any play, any down, every down. And I think Kareem Hunt is the final piece of a possibly championship team this year, and that's why I have my Kansas City Chiefs here at number 1, sitting atop the Say What You Like NFL Power Rankings for Week 4. Alright, so before I get on out of here, once again, I just want to say thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to listen to my top 10 NFL Power Rankings. If you have any questions, any comments regarding the top 10, leave them in the comments section. If you're, watching this video on YouTube or on Anchor, in the comment section, I will read those, post those up. If you are listening to this on Anchor, make sure to listen to this on the episodes. I'm really trying to grow the episodes, not just the station, but try to get the episode views. So if you can, take the time out to listen to it as an episode, I would really, really appreciate it. And of course, I invite anybody and everybody to call into the station. Give me your top 10. Give me your top 5. Tell me I'm crazy because I left the Pittsburgh Steelers off this week's top 10 NFL Power Rankings. Tell me that the Philadelphia Eagles deserve to be in the top 10 because honestly, I couldn't argue with you. Like I explained earlier, it was a log jam in this top 10, but some had to go and some had to stay. There's only 10. There's no other way to fit more than 10 in a top 10 list. So, you know what, guys? I'm hoping that you guys call in, give me some feedback here. I love subjective sports talk. That's why I love doing these power rankings. But until we meet again in week 5, I am Philip Enriquez. This is the Say What You Like Sports Podcast. Peace out.